Hey everybody, I'm live. This is Nora B. Peevy, the face behind the Butcher Writers Substack, coming to you from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I've got my ears on, which is my trademark, and I'm all set to talk to you today about the Butchered Writers and our group and our projects that are going on. If you are watching, welcome. I'm so happy that you came. I hope that you are having a good day or a good evening wherever you are from. The Butchered Writers is a group of horror authors, and we have 18 of us. We have one from South Africa. Most of us are stationed in the United States and also stationed in the UK. We write all different types of horror. We write paranormal, folklore, supernatural, splatterpunk, literary horror, anything you can think of, cosmic, we write it. We do anthologies. At the moment, we have out 20 anthologies, which you can choose from. You can buy them on Amazon.com. You can buy them on our website, thebutcheredwriters.com. All you have to do is look up The Butchered Writers and you'll find us. You can also buy them at terrormonthly.com, which is also our website. Our latest book that we have out is called Prime Cuts. Look at that pretty cover. Ooh. Juicy stuff on the cover. Nom, nom, nom. What is it? What is in the minds of those who have a desire for flesh? What becomes the victims of those strange desires? Is there a line a person shouldn't cross in order to survive or feast? This anthology explores what might be taboo for some, but just another meal for others. If you're hungry, come feast on what lies within the pages of Prime Cuts. I'm sure you can guess that we are talking about Long Pig, or cannibalism, dare I say. I don't know. I don't know if I can get censored on Substack. So here I am. I think I'm talking to myself. It says I have 0 people that are watching. That's disappointing. I sent out a lot of invites, but I'm going to continue on anyway in hopes that maybe somebody will find me. So to tell you a little bit more about what we are doing, we have our Substack, but we also have our Patreon for the Butchered Writers. And right now we have 2 competing stories that are being written by 3 authors, each one. One is for cosmic horror and the other is for folklore horror. We are into chapter 4. It is interactive storytelling, which means that you, the audience, get to tell us, the writers, what's going to happen next. It's kind of like choose your own adventure, except you vote with a poll. So this week I'm going to be writing. New chapters drop every Saturday, and I have until Friday to get mine in. So this week, my audience voted that the girl is going to go in the woods to try to find Jason. Jason is this poor soul who has been snatched up by trees, which if you want to read about what happened to him more, you can go and you can read it at the Butchered Patreon. Butchered Writers Patreon, sorry. The other project that we have going on is we have our duos, which is where 2 of our writers are teaming up and we are writing either a novella or a novelette to release. And those are in all different subgenres of horror so that not everybody is doing the same thing. And the book that we are going to be putting out next has to deal with tarot cards, where I dealt everybody a tarot card and they had to write a story based on the tarot card that they were given. And after that book comes our steampunk collection. And then after that comes mythology. And then after that comes, I think, killer junk food. And then we're moving on to Halloween and our haunted house special. And We are also going to be putting out from last year the candy coated Carnage, which you will be able to buy for Valentine's Day, and the 12 Days of Christmas special, which you'll be able to buy for the holidays. We plan on actually making that a physical copy that you can buy. We haven't decided what we're doing for Christmas yet, but I'm sure we will be doing something. So that will be good. I'm excited about it. I'm hoping that you guys will love what we are doing and that people will join for the interactive live that we're not interactive live, the interactive storytelling that we are doing on the Patreon, which is really cool. And as far as that goes, it's been really fun so far. I have not found it too challenging, but this week is going to be challenging because the audience voted for the one that I didn't want to vote for, and I'm writing it anyways. So there you go. That's what's happening. I don't know what more to say other than that. I am going to be reading you a story from the recent book, Prime Cuts. And that is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to read you the first story. It's by Melinda Pouncey, and it's called Eat Like the Rich. My pages are stuck together. Sorry, guys. Technical book difficulties. Eat Like the Rich by Melinda Pouncey. Clara looked at the website with a skeptical eye. Eat Like the Rich? What does that mean? It's a new meal service they're advertising. You pay for a subscription and meals are delivered fresh to your door every day. It's an answer to that new luxury bunker program that's so controversial on social media. They are offering these meals as a way for the public to get a taste of the good life. We might all die in an apocalypse, but at least we can eat well before we go. Claude chuckled, looking very pleased with himself. I just signed us up. Clara snorted. So you bought into the hype. Well, I guess it would save us having to cook every night, but what if we don't like it? Then we just cancel. We have 2 weeks to try it out before we commit. How much is it going to be, though? Way cheaper than our grocery bills now. I figured it all out. Don't worry. I mean, we can't afford one of those luxury doomsday bunkers, but at least we can eat what they'll be serving those rich snobs that can. That's what the ads say anyway. I doubt very much if what they're selling to the public will be the gourmet meals the billionaires will be getting. But if it's affordable and the food is as good as the website says, I guess it will be all right. Clara wandered off to load the dishwasher while Claude looked over the selections. The food certainly appeared appetizing in the pictures. Wagyu beef, foie gras, bluefin tuna, all perfectly prepared and photographed. The meals looked so delicious, it was difficult to decide which ones to choose. How this company was able to offer such fare and such reasonable prices was beyond him, but he was eager to try them all. He scrolled through the pictures and descriptions for a long time, choosing meals he never had the money to experience before. At last, his finger hovered over the keyboard for a few seconds as he made his final decisions and double-checked the order before hitting send. While he scoffed at the idea of luxury doomsday bunkers, picturing a bunch of rich idiots locked in their climate-controlled capsules, he saw no reason not to take advantage of what was on offer now. No matter how much money one had, everyone would be in the same boat, one way or another, if everything went south. He and Clara weren't cut out to be doomsday types, but at least they would be together through whatever happened. He doubted if many of the wealthy folks currently snapping up those bunkers could say the same. It seemed just about every billionaire and celebrity was buying one of those bunkers in the mountains. Sure, prices were rising and several countries were at war, and things weren't going that great in the economic or geopolitical spheres. Still, the possible of a doomsday scenario wasn't going to change how he and Clara lived. He always thought it silly to plan for the absolute worst instead of making the most of what one had. To that end, he and Clara had a comfortable house that was nearly paid off, reliable transportation, and enough money to spend on little indulgences like this. They were content. When their first meals arrived 2 weeks later, Claude was the first to tear into the box. Each meal was attractively packaged and properly chilled. After showing them off to Clara, he stored them in the refrigerator and read through the instructions. So what would you like to try first? The Wagyu steak or the Iberian ham? Goodness, I don't know. They all look so good. How about the Iberian ham? I've never had it before. Me neither. Let's do it. Claude heated up the meal, which smelled wonderful, savory, but also slightly sweet. Then he and Clara dug in. Clara's eyes lit up when she took her first bite. Wow, this is amazing. The meat is so tender and flavorful. It sure is, Claude enthused. I'll admit, I had my doubts, but if the rest of the meals are anything like this, I think we made the right decision. For the next 2 weeks, they tried a variety of meals that patrons of a 5-star restaurant would envy, or so Claude assumed. They particularly enjoyed the pork loin medallions with pear and blue cheese and the Kobe steak with truffle puree. A couple of weeks later, Clara was scrolling on her phone. The news is reporting that Tim Masters, a billionaire tech guy, has gone missing. He was last seen 3 weeks ago at a conference. He was at the forefront of the ones buying these luxury bunkers, and speculation is he's hiding out in one of them because of that recent sex scandal. Claude swallowed the last bite of his veal sweetbreads and sighed. It isn't right for them to be able to use those bunkers to hide from their crimes and indiscretions. If he thinks this is all going to just blow over and things will go back to normal for him, he'll be in for a surprise. I don't know. The public seems to have a short memory. Remember the financial crisis he brought on a few years ago with that inside trading scandal? Nobody ever talks about that anymore. That's true. It isn't right, though. Someone should do something. They should, but who is going to say no to his money? His net worth is more than the budget of his small country. Claude put down his fork and gave her a thoughtful look. Do you think we're bad people for trying to emulate those bastards with this gourmet meal plan? I mean, the company making these things has to be owned by someone. It might even be him. I would hate to think we're even partially responsible for allowing people like that to escape accountability. Of course not. There is nothing we can do one way or another that will make a difference with the kind of wealth they have. Every dollar we spend is less than a drop in a bucket to them. And there is no way to buy anything these days without propping up someone unethical. It's just odd to me that someone so famous can disappear so completely. He hasn't been seen anywhere in weeks. Not so much immoral as an inevitability for us then, I suppose. Oh well, it doesn't impact our lives that much. That's the important thing. That's just how we should look at it, Clara agreed. Several months passed, and they went about their lives with no more thought on the matter. Prices continued to rise, and the war dragged on, causing disruptions to the supply train and semi-scarcity of many items. Fortunately, the meal plan pricing and choices remained stable, making Claude glad he'd signed up, but also leaving him wondering how it was possible for a business like that to run so smoothly. Claude and Clara went to work every day, spent their weekends relaxing or going out as the mood struck them. The one thing that changed in their lives is that they no longer frequented restaurants, being more than content with the quality of food they had at their disposal at home. They were actually saving money, for which they were grateful. Claude was so happy with the plan that he touted it to his coworkers. Some of them signed up as well and were also thrilled with the selections. The company offered something for every taste, unless one was a vegetarian. Water cooler talk now centered around the new offerings on the site and comparing notes about the meals everyone's families enjoyed most. Strangely, reports continued to pour in almost daily that some billionaire or celebrity had vanished without a trace. Some people become nervous as the richest individuals in society disappeared one by one, leaving power vacuums everywhere from big corporations to government institutions. Not for long, though, as others rushed in to take their places. Not always for the better either. But hadn't that always been the way? The situation generated a lot of social media discussion and memes, but life didn't change much for folks like Claude and Clara. The stock market went crazy, but that didn't mean much to them. Prices continued to soar, however, and even the meal plan went up. Claude thought about canceling the subscription a few times, but couldn't bring himself to do it. The food was just too good for one thing. It was also still more affordable than the regular groceries, and though he didn't want to admit it, he found himself actually craving the deliciously rich food. Even the company logo, Eat Like the Rich, printed in black on a yellow background, brightened his day whenever the boxes showed up on their doorstep. It made him feel like even a regular Joe like himself could catch a break sometimes. While Clara enjoyed the meals, she got bored with them and insisted on cooking her regular recipes sometimes. It was more expensive, but Claude had always liked her cooking and didn't object. Secretly, he liked the food in the plan better and would often pick at the food she cooked, then sneak a ready meal later by pretending to be working on a project in the garage. Who wouldn't turn down meatloaf in favor of lobster thermidor after all? Then everything fell apart. One morning, Clara was scrolling her phone when her eyes got big and her hand flew to her mouth. "Oh my God, Claude! Oh, I'm going to be sick." She dropped her phone and ran to the bathroom to throw up. Concerned, Claude left his eggs Benedict with smoked salmon and ran to help her. "What is it? What's wrong?" he asked, but all she could do was shake her head. When she had emptied her stomach of her breakfast and he'd helped her back into the living room, he picked up her phone to hand it to her. He glanced at the headline that made her so upset and his mouth dropped. On the phone was a news report about the missing billionaires. It said the mystery had been solved. It seemed the luxury bunker business was a front for a company that had been slaughtering and selling some of the richest people in the world as gourmet meals. The same meals they had been buying for over a year. The picture attached to the article had the "like" on the packaging crossed out and said, "Eat the Rich." How had he never noticed before how much the black on yellow logo looked like crime scene tape? Claudia gazed at the phone for a long moment before handing it back to Claude gazed at the phone for a long moment before handing it back to Clara and returned to the kitchen table where the smoked salmon, or whatever it really was, awaited him. She watched him in shock, still looking a little green. "Claude, don't touch that. Don't you know what this means? We've been eating." Claude picked up his fork and looked at his plate. Even knowing what it was, the food looked and smelled so good. It would be a sin to waste it. He shrugged and speared another bite of salmon and egg. "I always thought someone should do something, and I guess they did. Looks like they finally found a use for those people after all." And that's the story Eat the Rich by Melinda Pouncey from the Butchered Writer's latest book, Prime Cuts, a savory cannibalistic horror anthology, which is available on terrormonthly.com, thebutcheredwriters.com, and amazon.com. And I'd like to say that if you go to thebutcheredwriters.com, you will find more than just our books. We also have some free creepy quickies that you can listen to, which are short little stories that you can listen to on the way to work or the gym while you're in your car. We have a curated list of fun little horror gifts that you can buy for yourself or for your loved one, that special loved one in your life who enjoys horror just as much as you do. And we also talk about our new projects, just like we do on the Patreon, which are new projects right now. Mainly the one that we are talking about is the cosmic horror versus folk horror story on the Patreon, the Butchered Writers Patreon, where you, the audience, gets to vote on what happens next. That's right, we writers aren't in control. There's a poll on Saturday. The stories drop on Saturday. On Saturday, you get to vote. There will be 2 options that you get to vote from on which way the story direction could go. And that is all in your hands. And this week, I'm a little nervous. The audience gave me the choice that I didn't want. I write for the folk horror genre story, if you're wondering, by the way. And if you just joined, my name is Nora B. Peevy, and you are on the Butchered Writers live stream for the Substack. I am the face behind the Butchered Writers Substack. Our Substack has a lot of author interviews. It has articles on a lot of creepy different things like the evil eye, the sinking of the Mary Celeste, the crying boy painting, sometimes author tips, writing tips. We're going to be having more articles, more author interviews coming to you. We've had some quite popular authors on here and also some not well-known indie authors. If you are an author and you would like to be featured as an interview, all you have to do is DM me and you can be on the Butchered Writers Substack. Also, I'd like to do a plug for Danny Garvin. He reads every Friday night an independent or not independent short story. We're just trying to support authors out there as the Butchered Writers. We want to get back to the community. And you can find him on TikTok at DL Garvin Writes. Every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, he reads a story. And if you would like your story read, it doesn't matter if it's your first story ever, if you're a successful author, if you're a brand new author, he wants to hear from you. So you can contact me if you would like, and I can get a hold of him with your story, or you can find him on TikTok at DL Garvin Writes, and you can direct message him with your story. I'd like to also say that the Butchered Writers is an invitation-only group. If you are interested in joining us, you can direct message me, and we can talk about you sending in a short story for the leaders, which I'm one of, to read and to decide if we would like you to join our group. Right now, if you're just joining in, I said at the beginning that we have 18 people, 1 in South Africa, and the rest of us in the UK and the United States. We have put out 20 anthologies. I'm going to try my best to read from as many of the anthologies as I can. I plan on doing more of these lives on the Substack streaming, and hopefully I will see more people show up next time. But thank you for those that have shown up. I hope that you go to the Butchered Writers Patreon and thebutcheredwriters.com and terrormonthly.com and look for the Butchered Writers on amazon.com as well. And I hope that you enjoyed my reading from Prime Cuts, our latest book. And I hope that all of you are having a wonderful day or a wonderful evening. And that is my cell phone going off. Sorry about that. Or a wonderful evening. And if anybody has any questions for me, they can list them now in the little type box to the right of the screen. There is a chat. You can chat with me if you would like. I will wait a little bit to see if anybody has anything to say. It's really hot where I am. I don't know where everybody else is coming from, but it is super hot. Super, super, super hot where I am. And I do not like the heat. I do not do well in the heat. It is not in my blood. It's been in the 90s and I do not like it. That's hot for Wisconsin where I live. Very hot. And I live right by the lake, so usually the lake is cooler, but it has not been lately. Okay, well, it looks like nobody has any questions for me. So I'm going to end my live streaming right now. This has been Nora Peevy with you from the Butchered Writers Substack, and I am signing off. See you later, guys. Bye.